Okay. All right. What's up, y'all? I'm here with Abby Bolton, and if you didn't know, she's an Olympian. She's also a very achieved chiropractor from Canada.
Yep.
But we're here in Indianapolis, and she's going to help me get aligned and get ready for nationals, and just my body's feeling pretty beat up from just prep and moving and everything, so she's going to help me out. But we got some cool scans, and she's going to help us get more educated on chiropractic practice and just kind of like change the perception that people have on chiropractor practice.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are like afraid of going to the chiropractor. So, yeah.
So we're gonna make it. Yeah, we're gonna kind of just educate a little bit, just to bring more ease and kind of understanding what we actually do, because it's not just about the clicks and pops. We don't just go in and just adjust. There's a deeper reasoning and a lot more benefits than you may believe. So we will get to that.
I'm excited. All right, let's get it. Be good.
All right, yeah, so I'm gonna have you take a seat here. So the first scan we're gonna do is a thermal scan. So this is gonna start at the bottom of your spinal cord. I'm gonna work my way up to the top. And this one is looking more organ systems. So it's gonna be able to depict what organ systems are under more stress compared to others. So it's looking at, it's measuring temperature on either side of the spinal cord. Obviously the body likes symmetry. We wanna see equal temperature, left versus right. We also wanna see higher temperatures up top compared to the bottom, because that's just where the brain and the heart is. So again, once the scan's finished, if there's any color, that'll mean abnormal, and that'll just mean a little bit stressed out. And we'll kind of depict that and break that down after. So you just sit comfortably.
This is so cool.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna roll pants down just ever so slightly, okay?
Hopefully y'all can somewhat see the screen. This is so cool.
Then go ahead and look slightly down for me. Good. You can look straight again. I'm just gonna come behind your ear now, okay? This is just where brainstem is. Okay. So not too bad, but a little bit of color kind of pop up top.
Okay.
A little bit at T8. That's kind of where adrenals are, which kind of makes sense. Like when you're at the end of prep, a little bit higher stress.
Yeah.
Your body's just in a more stressed out state. Okay, so we'll save that. This next one, I apologize, it's gonna be a little bit cold just because we use alcohol.
Oh, that's fine.
So this is the EMG. So now we're looking at, okay, what is your brain telling your muscles what to do with you just sitting here at rest? So, let me get this up. We don't wanna see muscles completely contracted, fired on, like you're doing like a max lift. We don't wanna see them shut off, not working hard enough. We wanna see them at this like normal rested state. So there's a little picture of like the spine right here, and you're gonna see some bars pop up as I do this, kind of as I go at each level. White means normal rested state, so that's kind of what we wanna see. Any color you see right now is gonna be abnormal overactive. Yellow would be that underactive muscle. For some reason, it just doesn't show up when we first do this. It'll show up when we print your scans out, if there is any. More importantly than color, we wanna see symmetry, so left side should equal right side. And then distribution-wise, I kind of explained to you earlier, we wanna see the shortest bars up top at the neck, because the head doesn't weigh as much. Short bars down below, because that's our fulcrum. And then the most muscle activity should be in the torso, because with you sitting no back support, that's what's holding you upright. So with this one, feet flat just like you have them, and then I'm gonna have you go palms facing up in your lap. Yep, and then I need to start this. Let's go this.
So do I need to like kind of have like posture
No,
like this?
actually just sit normally. Okay. Yep. Yeah, and then basically, so how I was explaining, when if there's two segments, or if there's an area in the spine that stops moving freely, appropriately, and consistently as it should, and then it becomes this blind spot to the brain, and the brain goes, uh-oh, alert, something's not right, lock it down, the muscles kind of go through three phases. So phase one is what we call overwhelm, and this is where we would see a ton of red bars bilaterally, kind of pulling equally both sides. And this is just kind of like that, it's just overactive muscles in this lockdown kind of protective mechanism. Phase two, if motion isn't restored, what happens is we see what we call neurological confusion. This is when one side kind of falls off, So we get some overactivity on one side, not as much on the other side. And then phase 3, again, if it just becomes more chronic, still motion isn't restored, we get what we call the exhaustion phase. And this is where we get the underactivity of muscles. The issue with that is it creates instability, greater risk for injury. So any injuries where people report kind of doing like a simple everyday task and they just bend the wrong way, they look too fast, they go to tie their shoe and they kind of throw their back out. That's usually due to that more exhaustion phase. It's been there for quite some time. They might not be feeling it on a day-to-day basis, but think of it as just like that last straw. That's
it was always there.
Exactly. It was always there.
Just waiting to happen.
Just kind of it was almost like weak or like, again, exhausted.
It's crazy, like how complex.
It really is on that deeper level. So yeah, so we really look big picture, organ system wise. What is the brain telling the muscles what to do? And we look at it, we're very nervous system focused here. Okay, I'm just gonna bring this down a bit, you're good. So no crazy, just minor overactivity. And then, so color-wise for overactivity, it goes green, blue, red, black. So green's just more on like that minor side. Okay, a little bit in the upper, yeah.
Got some purple in there.
And that's kind of what showed up a little bit in that organ. Like the more stressed out area was kind of up in that cervical area. Well, that's normal though, so that's good.
So is this like reflecting like exactly like how I'm facing right now? So the blue's on the left side?
Left
Well,
side.
that makes sense because that's where my neck was like when I was looking up the other day.
You were feeling that tension on that side?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that makes sense. So yeah, not too crazy. I'm curious when I print out because like you might have some minor exhaustion in through here.
I feel it, like I feel that right now, like a little bit of fatigue, like
in that
here.
area.
Yeah.
And then the big thing with it's kind of more so this TL junction. I'll explain more in a sec, but this TL junction, if you think of low back and hips as like the horses, the reins that control the horses, is this TL junction. So if that area is exhausted or just underactive, not supported enough, it can throw off everything down below.
Makes sense.
So as soon as we start kind of reconnecting that area to the brain, proper activity, usually everything down below just realigns literally on its own. But
awesome.
we still might put some attention there if needed. Okay, I'm gonna let you get changed.
Okay.
Because that's all we need for kind of right on the spinal cord there. And then we'll do our HRV scan and x-rays.
Heck yeah.
And then we'll print off scans and we'll break them down
I'm excited.
and get you adjusted. All right, Dylan. So I'll step out for a sec. Yay.
I feel so funny in this gown.
I know.
All right, so next we got Spinal X-ray, and I actually had a chiropractor years ago that apparently it said that my like lumbar spine, like portion of the spine didn't fuse together. So I ended up growing like a 6th vertebra in my lumbar, which we normally have 5. And then I also happen to have like 2 little ribs about the length of my pinky growing out of that. So I'm not saying that he was lying, but I just want to see it again and like
See if it's actually true.
yes. So if it is, then I'm part mutant. So,
Part mutant. All right, so I'm gonna have you come back up against here for me, and then I'm just gonna feel. I'll put kind of a C bone here, so probably about there, and then just go right up against for me, and I'm gonna just lift this arm up for 1 second. Perfect, and you can relax now. Just want to make sure we're nice and even there. All right, Dylan. So all you gotta do, just stay nice and still for me. Don't breathe, don't move. Good, and you can relax. Okay, I'm gonna see from the side because we can only see, if you wanna come look real quick. So what I'm thinking, what he's saying is like, so 5, I think 5 is there. I got 5 right here. 4, 3, 2, 1. This would normally be T12, but we don't normally have ribs
Oh, that might have been what he was
So I think
talking
that's
about.
what, or this is technically one, or again, sorry, that extra lumbar vertebrae that they're talking about, because these are an anomaly, what we call an
Yeah.
anomaly. So we just have this extra kind of set of baby ribs, you could say.
That's so cool.
So slight mutant, but in a cool
Yeah.
way.
So it's not in the lumbar, it's in the T
Well,
section?
they might, I'm going to look at it when we do the side view just to see, I kind of just want to see size and shape to see if it's, more like an extra lumbar or if it's part of, because it's kind of like right at that teal junction.
Okay.
Yeah. Set up, and then, let me put the markers on this. So let me do that. We're going to go, okay, so right. I think we're going to go more left side. Oh, yeah, your left hip is up a little higher too.
Yeah.
You can visually see how like left side's higher here, but it's also, you can tell it's higher on that side.
Yeah, and it kind of looks like
So
my spine was like crooked.
So watch when I flip back and forth, you can kind of see, it's minor, but yes. Like it's definitely got this like slight, and again, when that teal junction's exhausted, it can literally just throw off everything down below. As soon as we kind of get more motion in that area, stability, like this will just all balance out. So nothing to be stressed about. So, okay, so we're gonna go left side. So what I'm gonna have you do is, let me get this set. So let's cross our arms, and then I'm gonna have you turn in the wall and face this way. Yeah, and then just kind of have left side of body somewhat touching up against whatever part, yep. And I'm actually gonna, lats are big, but I'm gonna move this up a little bit. Let's go. Yep, that's perfect. All right, Dylan, just stay nice and still for me. Don't breathe, don't move. Good, and you can relax. Yeah, because 5, so this is, you can't really tell which one has the ribs coming off though. Because 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, your curve is great. So see how it almost gets straighter in through here and a little bit smaller disc spaces? That's that teal junction right here. So,
Okay.
This could technically be that extra lumbar vertebrae.
Yeah.
I'd have to count the full spine, but this is either the extra lumbar vertebrae or it's T12. But this is making me think this is more T12, 11, 10. Yeah, because the ribs are coming off of 12. So I think you do have an extra one. But yeah,
so cool.
But when this area is a little bit more stressed out.
Baby back ribs. No,
Baby.
I want some baby back ribs right now.
But yeah, so that teal junction, and this just reconfirms, like when it's a little bit more stressed out, not moving as great, it can throw off alignment all down low. So that'll probably be one kind of area we focus in on today.
Okay.
But great lumbar curve. We want to see this backward C shape. We want to see nice disc spaces in between. If I'm being super, super picky, this one's getting a little bit smaller, but it's not bad. It's also, like, you still have a decent space. It's just compared to, like, these ones, could be a little bit better. But that's, again, right where sacrum is. So, and with previous trauma, that kind of makes sense.
Previous trauma, I told her about it. I didn't tell y'all. I was, like, 10 years old, and I used to, like, run and jump on my punching bag that was attached to the ceiling. Well, the weather dried it out, the straps on it. So it broke, and it was like I fell with it on me because I would just jump and wrap around it. Oh. And it was on the edge of the porch. I landed right on my tailbone with that 30 to 50 pound bag, or however much it weighed, with my like entire upper body hanging off the edge of the porch. So, yeah. That was probably the worst situation I went through physically, but anyway.
Yeah, and something like a trauma like that far back, even as a kid, can impact and influence your neurological pattern, how your body holds you from then on that out. So again, our goal is to kind of unwind that stuff and get you to a more kind of efficient, optimal neurological pattern.
Let's go.
And I'm gonna move this up. So we're gonna do upper now. So this is coming up. Though there, that should be good. And then this one's a little bit funny, so go right back up against for me, and then, you're pretty balanced there. The only way we can see top 2, like, vertebrae in the spine is to open your mouth nice and wide. So, good, hold that, hold that, hold that. Stay nice and still. Good, and you can relax.
That's funny.
I know, it's a funny one. Side. So you can see, like, slight, like, head tilt, like, ever. And I'm just trying to see, like, shoulders are not too bad. See, the one thing I'll point out, so see this, like, little line right here? Like, these little lines?
Yeah.
And see these 2 little dots? We want that line, like, perfectly centered between the 2 dots. So you can see you've got a ton of rotation going to the right. Like pretty much like from here to like kind of in this like CT junction, kind of upper thoracic area. So probably focus in on there too.
My earrings look cool.
Oh yeah, the earrings are always so cool.
But
yeah.
floating out there. That's so neat.
And the necklace.
Yeah. I love it.
But normally we would remove artifacts, but it's not
Yeah.
interfering with anything major that we want to see. So
Yeah.
for time's sake. All right. So I think what I'm going to do is we'll go right side for this one. Okay. So we're going to go from the side now. So this one, you can keep arms down by side, turn and face this wall for me. Yeah, so have that right shoulder right up against touching. Yep, and then you just look straight at that wall. All right. Nice and still. Don't breathe, don't move. Good, and you can relax. And then stay facing that way. I think we're going to just keep you facing that way. So right. Okay, and then I'll show you these last two in a second here. Okay, so with this one, I'm going to just bring this down now to about there. And this down. And then with this one, I'm going to have you bring arm together like this. And then take a step forward. We just do this one a little bit off, a little bit more. Perfect. And then just kind of take a side step in. So, yep, perfect. All right, so on the last one, stay nice and still for me. Don't breathe, don't move. Good, and you can relax.
It's the praying.
The praying, yeah.
Praying
Oh, it's so weird. Sometimes it does this weird shadow thing. We can still see everything perfectly, but right now. So actually, I'll do this one first. So this is the one we just did, and you can see sometimes it's like the shadow of the face. Don't ask me how. It happens every once in a while, like just the way it was taken, but you can still see everything perfectly. So you got, again, that nice lumbar curve, little bit of straightening in through that TL junction, and then in through here, honestly, not too bad. Like, we will see smaller disc spaces in through that, like upper mid kind of thoracic area. Only thing I'm curious, I'm not concerned, like, definitely not concerned by it, but see how, like, this segment, it almost looks like we're getting spurring, like very, very ever so minor. Yeah. It's not major whatsoever, but it just tells me, like, I'm thinking like in through here is just a little bit more stressed out. And I want to say 1, 12, 11, 10, 9. It's kind of in like that 9, 10. So I still kind of consider that TL junction, but like you're also getting, again, closer to those adrenals as well. So kind of also makes sense. So that will probably be kind of like a focus area that I'll probably hone in on. But again, you firsthand on the table, palpation-wise, and what I see and what I feel, that sort of thing, that's going to dictate what we get adjusted. But based on scan results too, it just helps us kind of, and then x-rays helps us kind of gear into like these initial focus zones just to kind of like keep an attention on. And then, so moving up top from the side. So we got a bit of that straightening. Straight. And again, it's literally, don't get me wrong, society nowadays, like with the phones, technology, looking down a lot, it definitely adds to it.
I'm going to be honest, my mom, she would always like ride really close behind people.
Okay.
And she'd have to slam on the brakes, so who knows, I might have like a little bit of
and again, and then,
it doesn't take much, right?
It doesn't take much, and the other thing is like when you get kind of trauma per se to that area, or like again, we have could be just two segments there that have not moved for a good amount of time, and it's that blind spot for the brain. If it's not properly connected to the brain and it's not moving efficiently, we're gonna get that 3 kind of phase of like muscle tension where it goes overwhelm and then kind of neurological and we did have some neurological confusion on your scan, kind of like up and through here, a little bit up top,
because like so it can throw it off. I'll constantly like catch myself like my traps are tense and my neck is tense, and like I'm clenching my jaw all the time, and like I will literally have to like catch myself, like even if I'm winding down to go to sleep, I will literally be like clenching my like jaw, and so
you just
maybe
feel that tension.
Maybe that tension like
at
all
sure.
times is maybe.
And again, everything's connected, everything's part of it. And I was telling Dylan earlier, like this is completely reversible. This is literally just the way that her brain, her neurology is holding her body, and the way that it's been programmed over the years, it's going to distort the joints, and joints don't move themselves. They don't just go out of place on their own. It's the muscles attached to those joints that are either abnormally contracting too much or too little that ultimately kind of throw our normal pattern off. And at the end of the day, those muscles are told what to do by the brain and nervous system. So we really kind of tackle and kind of target the brain and nervous system, because that's literally the master controller of everything. If we can bring ease to that system and get you into a more neurologically efficient state, everything unwinds, everything kind of goes back to normal. And like this is completely reversible. So exciting stuff. Cool. Yay. So this is a heart rate variability scan. So this scan is really cool. I'm going to get her set up and then I'll explain it. But this one's going to be about 3 minutes. So what you're going to do is, doesn't matter which hand, 3 fingers in like this. You're going to feel a little bump under your middle finger. Okay. Feel that little bump? Yep. Okay, just let it rest right here. And then just try and keep that hand just nice and still. So I'm going to get it started. So a heart rate variability scan, it's not measuring the heart itself. It is looking at the length of her heart contracting versus relaxing. But what it's really measuring is her autonomic nervous system. So think of your autonomic nervous system as like your autopilot. Controls everything you don't think about, breathing, hormone secretion, blood sugar regulation, all those processes that they just happen. We don't have to think about. And the autonomic nervous system has 2 subsystems, sympathetic, parasympathetic. Fight or flight, rest and digest. So those 2 systems are really important. We need them balanced because we need to optimally tap into both for different instances. If our life's in danger, if we have a threat, when you're working out, when you're training, you need to be able to optimally tap into that fight or flight.
Yes.
That's going to ultimately have an impact on your performance and that sort of thing. But then when we need to tap into that parasympathetic rest and digest, just as important, especially as an athlete, especially as a bodybuilder. If we can't optimally tap into that rest digest state, not only are we going to not be able to digest properly and optimally, break down food, that sort of thing, and get waste out. So it's obviously a little TMI, but like those bowel movements, yes, like that's important. It's one way that we excrete waste from our body. If our body's holding that in, it's literally just think of like toxins being held in your body. And it's just going to, again, affect recovery, affect everything. But then again, the other important thing with that rest and digest state is if you can't optimally tap into that state, you're not going to optimally tap into a deep restorative sleep. You're not going to get good quality sleep. And that's literally, especially as an athlete, that's where you heal, grow, repair. So yes, you're not going to be able to train as hard. Yeah. And so the more optimally you can tap into both those systems, especially that rest digest, the more optimally like you're going to be able to perform in the gym on a day-to-day basis and kind of keep up with that. But what's really cool about this scan is it's going to show how balanced her systems are. So between that fight or flight and rest and digest, it's also going to give us her body's battery percentage. So what her body is operating at on a day-to-day basis. If that battery's dipped, it tells us at one point or another, whether it's more recent or kind of something that happened a while ago, her system was stuck on fight or flight mode. So we kind of refer to it as like gas pedal stuck on. Just think your system was so overdrive, you weren't able to kind of tap into that rest and digest optimally. And in today's society, we're conditioned to go, 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 do more. What's next on the agenda? Our minds are constantly racing. We don't have a time to actually like sit down, relax, and optimally tap into that other system. Again, if that fight or flight, that gas pedal gets stuck on, it's only going to drain your body battery, make you less resilient, make you less adaptable, and that sort of thing. So that's one number we look at. There's another number which we'll show in a sec, but it's called total power spectrum. And it's going to basically tell us how resilient her system is at kind of combating stress, adapting, and kind of that sort of thing. How much oomph she has to her system. So I love this scan. This is a great, great scan for everybody, but especially athletes and bodybuilders who want to kind of really optimize their performance and recovery and make sure that their training program is working for them, not against them.
Yes. It's
that's like a big component.
Looking under a microscope.
Yeah.
A deeper look.
Yeah. Because a lot of time, this stuff is kind of, you might not feel it right away, and this can kind of help us predict and prevent burnouts or areas where like you do start to like maybe overtrain or overreach and that sort of thing. So we can kind of pull back before it gets too bad kind of thing. So it's pretty cool.
Prehab.
Yes, yeah.
Prehabilitate, so you don't have to rehabilitate.
Exactly. Okay, you got 9 seconds left. And this, right on the screen right now, it'll pop up your body battery right away, and which side you're more dominant on. And then once I print out your results, we'll get more data. So I'm curious. Cool. Okay, so that's done. Okay, body battery, 87.
Okay.
Body battery 87. So pretty good. Like that, and for patients I see on a day-to-day basis, like I see a lot of, I think
you said 20% earlier.
Oh, that was a different scan, but that was pattern, which we'll show on yours after. But body battery wise, I would say average, like the greatest kind of what I see the most is like in the 60s. I do see 40s, I do see 50s. I occasionally see 70s and 80s. It's more on the rare side that I see like 80s. Very, very rare that I ever see 90s. So like this is pretty, especially being at the end of prep, like this is a pretty good body battery. That means like you have good oomph to your system. Now what I will say, so this number here, if it was 100%, it would mean you were perfectly balanced between the two systems. So when it's 53, you're almost 50%, so you're 47% on that sympathetic side. So you're pretty far over on that sympathetic. But again, that also makes sense. Like if you had any caffeine today, that'll further, okay, so she's had her caffeine today, so that will slightly push her more on that sympathetic side temporarily. So the left and right kind of going side to side between the two systems can change on an hour. Like if we were driving here and got cut off on the road and like our life was in danger for a split second, your heart starts racing, you're gonna be more on that sympathetic side. But the normal kind of adaptable response would be as soon as you perceive yourself as safe, you calm down, your body has that chance to kind of relax again, you come right back to that harmony, neutral kind of state. Same thing with caffeine. If you have caffeine, you're gonna be on that sympathetic side.
Yeah.
Where we can tell if that gas pedal's been stuck on for too long, too chronically, and you're not able to kind of combat and recover from that is when that body battery's dipped. So like obviously your battery's dipped a little bit, but it's still in like a really, really great range that like, I'm sure your total power spectrum is gonna have some decent oomph to its system. We're gonna print out her scan results and then we'll kind of go through them quickly and then get her adjusted. So stay tuned. Need a hair tie, but I love this spine. So cute.
I just want a cup like this for the hell of it.
Right?
I'm gonna order one on Amazon.
I know. I need to find it because I want one too.
That's so cool.
All right. So these are Dylan's scan results. So I'm gonna start with that second scan we did. That was the EMG scan looking at, okay, with you just sitting here at rest, what is the brain telling the muscles what to do? So this kind of graph right here is that reference graph. So this is the healthy normal. This is what we want to see on every single person in an ideal, perfect world. White means normal rested state. Obviously we want symmetry, left versus right side equal, and then distribution, shortest bars at the top, and the base here, our fulcrum, with the most muscle activity in the torso, because that's what's holding her upright with no back support. So her scan is this one right here. So what we see is a little bit of phase 2 and a little bit of phase 3. So that phase 1 overwhelm, if again, there's an area in the spine that's not moving freely, appropriately, consistently as it should, just like if you were to fracture a bone, the surrounding muscles spasm, and it's just this protective kind of mechanism to brace. So what we would see is a ton of red bars kind of pulling equally on both sides. After time, if motion hasn't been restored, energy kind of falls off on one side and we get more kind of activity on the other. So you can see up in this upper area here, so kind of her CT junction, which I'll explain in a sec, a little bit kind of CT junction to upper thoracic, a little bit kind of in this like mid-cervical, we have what we call phase 2 neurological confusion. So it's just asymmetry with overactivity. A little bit down and through here too, but that phase 3, that exhaustion phase is what we see kind of mid-back down to like end of thoracic, kind of again where that TL junction is right here. And the thing with the exhaustion phase is it's just more chronic. That's where we have underactivity of those stabilizing muscles, creates instability, just a little bit greater risk for injury. So with her, like, I mean, as a chiropractor, what we look for first is that yellow. That's definitely gonna be an area we target first because we need to get this connected to the brain. We need to increase muscle tone, muscle activity to get it more supportive. Especially like her complaints a little bit more hip related and her, based on her x-rays, her hips were a little bit distorted. If this area is exhausted, these are the reins to the horses. So low back and hips are like the horses. The reins that control those horses is that TL junction. If this isn't supported optimally, it can throw off everything down below. So we want to get, again, some more kind of activity in through there to help support down low. We'll still focus in on the hips as well for her, but that'll definitely be a key kind of initial focus zone. Some other graphs I'll show. So this one right here is just showing overall tension. So for her, you can see a lot of tension being pulled left up top. We've got kind of a change in direction in this, again, this TL junction kind of like lumbar spine. And then down low at L5 and S1, it goes back to that left side. So one thing I look for here is like the most, it's not a huge concern, but like as like the most pressing matter is when I see opposite torques. So when I see like a torque going one way, so T12 is going this way, and then kind of T10, 2 segments above, is going the opposite way, it's just this greater torque.
Yeah.
So again, that's that TL junction, that's that area that's showing up exhausted. So it just kind of confirms to me, okay, we want to kind of focus in on here. Same thing kind of down and through here a little bit. So we're definitely going to keep an eye on like hips. This one's not as bad, but we do have some in the upper as well. And then right where that exhaustion is, we just have this major, major torque to the left. And it makes sense because that exhaustion is more so on that right side.
Yeah.
So it's going to be going that torque in that way.
That's so wild.
Yeah. This graph here is literally if you were to take a black Sharpie and connect all the dots, that's what's showing up here. So there's a couple numbers on here you're not going to be able to see on camera, but I'm going to read them out. Total energy index. It looks like you're at a 90.7%, if I'm reading that correctly. We want to see that between 100 and 150. That's just like that optimal range. So you're not like sometimes I'll see patients where they're like 300, 500. I've even seen over 1,000. And if you think about that, that's literally they're using almost 10 times. If they're in that 1,000 range, their body just sitting at rest is using 10 times the amount of energy just sitting there. Then you think getting up, walking around, moving around, working out, that's just further exacerbated. You're wasting way too much energy for your system. So you're not really wasting energy, but just because of that exhaustion, we just don't have like the adequate kind of energy range. Pattern and symmetry in an ideal perfect world, we want 100% of both. So pattern right now, I can't, can I zoom in? I don't think I can. I think it says 50.1%. Now, if you think pattern-wise, that's literally just because you have overactivity up top here, where we want to see shorter bars, and then where we want to see the longer bars, that's where your exhaustion is. So it's just kind of flip-flopped. So pattern will be thrown off. Symmetry is a 40, I think it says 43, but it could be 45. And again, that's just probably because, again, a lot of your attention is being pulled to this left side. Yes, we do have some being pulled to the right, but it's just throwing off the symmetry. Organ system-wise, up top here, this one kind of shows more of a left to right. Keller's abnormal, so we had a little bit here at T8. And if we grab this chart, which we can show on camera after, I was showing Dylan this earlier. Can you see this okay? Hopefully it's not too reflective.
Yeah.
This chart is really, really great because it shows, so one, symptoms. And if you kind of look at symptoms and you see a bunch of symptoms that kind of relate to you, you can then look over, okay, what kind of tissues, organs, glands, kind of primary and secondary functions are kind of involved with these symptoms, and then what area in the spine kind of influences. So it kind of helps us, like we always ask new patients before we even see them, what kind of symptoms they have. And we have them rank them from 0 to 4 because we can already start to kind of assume or kind of pre-guess what areas are gonna kind of show up in their system as like more stressed out. So like with T8, for example, if we look at T8, this is stress response. Again, that's where the adrenal glands are, that's where the kidneys are, small intestine, so hormonal control, gut and digestion, filtration and elimination, stress response. So again, excess stress and cortisol, hyperactivity, chronic fatigue, poor metabolism, bedwetting, allergies and eczema, kidney problems, just a bunch of just symptoms.
Yeah.
So we can just kind of see, like, again, adrenals, it makes sense to me, especially at the end of prep. You're putting your body through a lot, you're gonna have a little bit higher stress than the average person. So that makes a lot of sense to me. Upper here, so kind of C1 through C4 kind of showed up. So I showed her this one earlier, but that's where the vagus nerve and brainstem is. This is gonna influence things like sleep, so sleep quality. So if you have any difficulty sleeping, low energy fatigue, TMJ, jaw pain, vertigo, dizziness, headaches, allergies, congestions, any ears, nose, throat, sinus stuff.
I have noticed, like, maybe it's like the drop in calories or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was like post-show when I had all those calories and then went back on the diet.
Okay.
For this show, it's like I keep getting lightheaded when I train.
Oh,
So could that have
okay.
anything to do with it?
100%. Yep. Yeah, usually that's linked more to like that upper faintness, that sort of thing, any dizziness. Again, ADHD, balance coordination, anxiety, stress, high blood pressure, reflux GERD. Like there's so many things linked with upper. So like upper is such a potent adjustment for so many reasons.
And that just goes to show you, like, literally right there by the brain, like it literally impacts like your entire body. Like it's
Yep. So yeah, those especially those upper cervical adjustments, they have a huge impact, and you can see like a majority of the symptoms are literally right in that upper cervical compared to anywhere else. Like obviously down low too, but this is just three vertebrae. This is L1 all the way to sacrum. So you should have a little bit more. But anyway, so that's that. With this kind of graph here, this is showing another scan from that thermal scan. So looking more organ system. What we want to see here is red. Ideally, in a perfect world, we want to see all red bars facing out, and it should be in this like V-shaped pattern with the highest temperatures up top near the brain and the heart. So we can see there's a lot of cooling going on, and it's all blue flipped in. Now, what I will say is what I see with like trends with a lot of patients, before I see all blue flipped in, so sometimes I'll see like some red with some blue kind of pattern going on. And what we'll see is as we treat them, it all flips in blue first and then unwinds. Okay. So I would say, like, to me, this is probably not at, like, yes, we have a lot of cooling. So there's a lot of stress, like, and again, your system's under a lot right now being deep in prep. But what I kind of see after this state when everything's blue is things start to kind of unwind and go out red. So again, just room for improvement there. And then the last thing I'll go over is that heart rate variability scan. So picture kind of demonstration, and then we got some numerical breakdown. So picture-wise, we already kind of said, so her body battery was an 87%. So that's a pretty good battery. This left side here is that sympathetic fight or flight side. This right side is that rest, digest, parasympathetic side. Ideally, we want you right on that center line, and we want you high up in this green box. This green spot, sweet spot harmony. That's what we want everyone. So we can see, like, she's slightly over on that sympathetic side. And again, that makes sense with the state that she's in with prep right now. Like, she did have caffeine, so she probably may have been in that green box. And caffeine may have been enough just to kind of pop you over. So I'm not too concerned about that. Battery hasn't dipped too much. It's dipped a tiny bit. So we have some area to kind of bring it back up. Numerically wise, sympathetic activity and parasympathetic activity responses, both in normal range. So that's what we want to see. We want to see those in normal range because that just means her system's going to be able to adapt and tap into both of those ideally and utilize those ideally. So that, good, check mark, check mark. And then the last number I'll show is what we call total power spectrum. This number is literally a number that represents her resiliency. I already kind of explained that, so I won't kind of re-explain, but how much oomph she has in her system. Less than 500 is severely stressed, 500 to 1500 chronically stressed, and then 1,500 to 3,000, think like your normal okay. Anything over 3,000 is what I want for every single person. That means your system's in a good spot. You've got a lot of oomph. You've got a lot of stress resiliency. So she scored 6,151. So great total power spectrum. Yeah. So that just means, like, and that's what we want to, like, even being close to a show, we want to see that because that just means you're going to recover more ideally. You're going to be able to train more ideally and just get more out of your workouts and everything. So, this is great. This is what I like to see. And in terms of frequency, what somebody would need chiropractic wise, because when you're working with the nervous system, it's all about the frequency on the upfront. And then we kind of spread frequency out over time. But if I already kind of explained this to Dylan, if you think about studying or trying to learn a new language, if you just practice once a month, you're not going to learn that language, or it's going to take you a really, really long time. Whereas if you practice a little bit every single day or just a few times a week, you're going to learn that a lot faster. So same thing with chiropractic. Getting those inputs in a couple times a week is really going to help speed up the process of changing that neurological pattern. Once we get that to stick more and kind of unwind things, then we can spread it out because the body now has relearned its new program, and now it's just kind of that more maintenance where we just kind of sustain it. Kind of a few key things as a chiropractor, how we dictate frequency is one, somebody who's been to chiropractic before, they're going to respond a lot faster than somebody who's never had it before. Just think about, like, if you were learning how to ride a bike at a young age and you go 10 years without riding a bike. Mm-hmm.
You pick it up pretty easily.
Yeah, you still know how to ride a bike even though it's been a couple years because you learned that kind of skill already. So somebody who's had chiropractic, even if it was 5 years ago, if they had a couple chiropractic appointments, their system knows how to integrate those adjustments. So that will kind of just help us say, okay, this person's not going to need as much frequency. The other things I look at based off of scans is how much exhaustion do they have in their system from that EMG scan? What is their body battery percentage? What is their total power spectrum? Are both like kind of sympathetic, parasympathetic responses in normal range? So because hers are in normal range, because her total power spectrum's high, her body battery's high, she's going to be able to, again, integrate these adjustments a lot easier, a lot better. Her system can handle it a lot more easily. Those changes are going to happen quicker, so she wouldn't need as much frequency. I'd still start her out 2 times a week. Everyone could benefit with more, but she would be just fine with just starting 2 times a week for maybe like 2 months. Then we would back her off to kind of like a 1 time a week, and then ease her into like a maintenance plan, which could literally look like anything from every other week, once a month, once every other month. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Alrighty. You ready to get adjusted?
Yes.
Okay. You know when you get those urges to like pop or whatever, kind of crack yourself? think of it as like, it's like this sensory thing that your body's craving. It's literally craving movement in that area.
Yes.
So it's almost like a symptom. It's like telling you to do it. And it,
You just need to get somebody else to do it.
yeah, and that's the thing. So it's actually crazy because I used to do it all the time to myself, and now that I'm getting adjusted 4 times a week,
Yeah.
I rarely
You don't even think about
ever get the urge to do it
I'm
myself.
always popping my fingers, my neck. If I
Yep.
start feeling tension, I'll literally like
Just
grab
start,
my
yeah,
own head
yeah.
and like, and I'll twist to pop my own back.
Yep.
Like it's.
So it's like your
Yeah.
body, your brain is literally just craving that motion, and that like it's literally telling you what it wants. So it's kind of cool. All right,
Super cool.
ready?
Where do we start?
So I'm gonna have you go face down on the table for me.
All right, cool.
So you're gonna feel me play with your feet a lot, and that's literally just me kind of checking the nervous system. So we're challenging it. We're seeing kind of what it brings the most ease to the system and that sort of thing. So I'm gonna bring this out a little bit too. Okay. So with you on the table right now, right leg is short, which you already knew. Stays short. So we're going to do a couple of things. First, I'm going to do what we call a trap fiber analysis. So, little tight in there.
Oh yeah, it's like a knot.
Right in there too. Not as bad out through here. Maybe a little bit there. So I would say like a C5 there. And then I think it was more like a C7 here. So basically, 7 trap fibers in here. They literally correlate with certain cervical vertebrae. And then those cervical vertebrae correlate with thoracic and lumbar. So it's kind of cool pattern-wise is like a lot of times, so like C7 correlates with like T9. Any tenderness like in through here.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
felt that on the first one.
Yeah, so like I can already guess, like I'm like, she's probably gonna have sensitivity there. Now, sometimes it's all 3 that are sensitive, sometimes it's just 2. So I'm just curious, any tenderness or sensitivity right there? Not too bad?
Not tender, but I'd say like sensitive.
Sensitive,
Like
okay.
it feels like just more reactive.
Would you say this one's worse
Yes.
in through there? And then I'm just curious, I'll get it a little bit better with you. Any tenderness like in through here? Or not too bad?
More on the left.
More on that left side, yeah.
Yeah.
So that kind of correlates with that left trap fiber right there. Okay, so we're definitely going to hit, and this is where you have exhaustion. So I probably will hit this first. I'm just going to do a couple other checks first. Any tenderness,
Oh, a little bit, yeah.
is one side worse than the other?
It's not like tender, like pain-wise, but it's just like,
Kind of just achy or?
well, it's just like it feels a lot more sensitive.
Gotcha.
Like, and I'll even like get my knuckles and like.
And kind of rub in
Yeah,
there?
I was actually doing that this morning.
Now, is the left side worse than right side? Or are they kind of same?
I'd say about the same.
Okay. And then, I know I already palpated here, but more tender in through here or in through here?
Right there, like.
So that
yeah.
tells me more of like a ilium distortion than sacrum. But we're going to do a couple checks and we'll see what the feet say. So,
This is so cool. I keep on saying that, but it's like so cool.
the process is pretty, the body's crazy and, okay, so what I'm going to have you do first, we're going to check an upper cervical. So go ahead and turn your head to the left and just let it rest there for a second. So this is looking if there's any C1 showing. So not there. And then go ahead and turn to the right. Okay, so no C1. That didn't really make any change. You can go back to neutral. Go ahead and look up for me. Yep. Okay, that brings more ease to the system. Okay, and then go ahead and look back down. You're good. Any tenderness in through here at all? Or is it worse kind of more in through
Right
here?
there,
Right
yeah.
there, yeah. So I'm going to do that adjustment at the end. That'll be a lower cervical. So we're going to start here. The last thing I want to just check is we're going to check a couple checks here. So this is, again, me just challenging the nervous system. What brings the most ease? That brings ease. So that's a right PI. And then that is probably going to distort her. And yeah, that just caused her right leg to go short. So we're looking more like a...
That's why, like, I felt something in my quads when you did that.
Did it feel more uncomfortable on that second one?
It felt more like a stretch when you pulled my feet up in my, like, quads.
Oh,
when
interesting.
you did the second one where you pushed me to the right.
Yeah. Whereas, like, okay, so let's check this one again, where I go this way. So that just brought you even. Any difference there?
It was, like, way less tightness in the quads.
Yeah. So it's great, and I haven't even adjusted it yet. That's just it.
Yeah.
Now that usually, like when we do those checks, it'll usually last about like, I think it's like 5 to 7, like 7-ish seconds. So obviously the adjustment itself is a lot more potent. There is one other kind of just check I want to try, and I'm going to do a test real quick. So this is more of a sacral check. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to pin down right here, one leg at a time, keep it nice and straight for me, and lift as high as you can. Yeah, good. And go ahead and do the other side. Okay, kind of feel the same both sides?
Yeah, it feels a little more challenging on this side.
So it might be a slight PL, but the length of like how high you rose was the same. Okay, so right short. This should keep it short, and it does. If it's a PL, that should. So that balances out. So it's either PL sacrum, but I have a feeling, I think it was more responsive. The other check, so whether it's sacrum or if it's the iliums, if she was more sensitive down low at L5, that's more sacral. She was more sensitive at like L2, L3, that tells me more ilium. And she was a bit more responsive when we did the right PI, left AS check. So we're definitely gonna do that one, but I am gonna start. Okay, so we're gonna get into the adjustments now. So tender in through here, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Anything in through here as well?
Oh, yeah.
Is that one worse?
Yeah, I would say that's just a tad bit worse.
Just to tap it. Okay, so we actually might start with the worst one, but I'm going to get that TL junction too because that's where that exhaustion is. So I'm going to bring this headpiece down. You just relax. The other thing I want to just check is I'm just going to kind of see what side looks a little bit higher, and it looks like it is left side. Yeah, and that is where you had the more muscle right in there, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, so we'll do one here. You want me to put mic on it?
Yeah. Let me clip it.
Should I just do it like, I'll just clip it like here?
Yeah.
I'll just clip it here. Okay, so right in here, yeah. Nice deep breath in. Let it out. You know what, let me get a little more. There we go.
That was a good one.
That was a good release. Good. Okay, now still tender in through here. Okay, more or less kind of like in through this area, in through here. Or is it worse in through here?
I'd say right there.
Right here? Yeah, so this is that TL junction. So the other thing I'm going to do, so right was short, so
Oh, yeah,
more that way.
tender.
Right there. Okay, so I'm going to do a drop.
Sides.
I'm going to do a drop on this area.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is we're going to bring these up. Let me make sure they're pretty tight right now. So let me make sure. Yeah, it's still, I had them set really tight. Okay, that tells me. Oh.
Well, there was this like mega drop. Not really. But it's
Okay.
like the anticipation.
Okay, so with this here, we're just going to utilize that drop table just to help speed it up. And I'm going to come in contact right here. Nice deep breath in. Yep. And let it out. Good. Good movement there. And that one is a little spicy, so it can be kind of uncomfortable. I'm going to do one more, and I'm going to come on this side and just do a little bit different hand contact, just for a little extra. Good. A little bit better in through here.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay. So that's good. The other area, yes, we already checked here. Not as bad in through here.
Yeah, not really that bad.
Okay. Still tender in here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're going to just down here. The other thing we do, and I'm going to show you in a sec, is before I adjust cervical, I'm going to do temperature. So we're going to do this. We're going to do a drop on this one too. Yeah. Good. So let me just check leg length now. It's perfectly balanced. Feeling any tension as I lift the legs?
A little bit, but I think it's just like soreness. And
You feel it kind of in here? Or in the quads you feel the
I just
tension?
feel like quads. Like
Quads.
No tension in my back right there.
Good. Okay. How about in through here? Still achy or not as bad? These
not
levels.
as bad. Like,
Okay.
it just feels like a sore muscle that's like sensitive.
That's
like
sensitive,
it
yeah.
doesn't really hurt when you press it.
Are you tight in through here?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna do just a little bit before, because we're gonna do some
Especially
cervical.
on, like this side.
This
like,
side.
I felt it when I was sitting earlier.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna do a little muscle release now. So if at any point it's too much, you just let me know, okay? Oh yeah, you got like ropey bands in there. And yeah, just breathe through it. Is that pressure okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna do, yeah, you feel that like ropiness right there?
Yeah.
Just got a lot of muscle.
Yeah, I'd say the right side is definitely like
Worse.
the worst, yeah.
Yeah, so we're just gonna get it to release a bit. Sorry, I know it hurts when it.
Hey, whatever it takes.
Oh yeah. Good. Yeah, right in there. Good.
Yeah, that's the one right there.
Right here, yeah, we'll focus. Oh yeah, that's you feel how ropey that is?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll definitely.
Oh yeah, that burns.
Yeah. And again, like,
keep on pressing, like,
yeah. We're gonna, and like muscle work is great, but at the end of the day, unless we kind of really change that neurological pattern and get things, again, working more optimally for her, this pattern is going to keep coming back. So that's what's important about the adjustments is they have a really big impact, the most potent impact on the nervous system. Muscle work is like great, and she's going to get relief like today just from this. But again, it's just going to keep tightening back up in those spots until we kind of change how our body's holding her. But yeah, definitely tighten through there. Yeah, right in through that tail junction. I'm going to do a little bit on the left, but I might come back to that right side. Because, yeah, definitely not as ropey in through here. Is that okay pressure-wise?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't really hurt.
Okay. More that right side?
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't do as much. Maybe a little bit right there. Yeah, let's come back and get a little bit more. Right there. Oh, yeah. Staying on it. Yeah, it's definitely the worst, because down and through here is not as bad, right?
Kind of.
Yeah. So think of it like a trigger point, but yeah, just it's just this band of muscle just super tight.
So could that be like kind of like scar tissue too? Like, because I've heard of people like who lift weights, they get like the
Oh, I know what
scar
you
tissue
mean.
built up.
I would say more so if it was like, I mean, yeah, I guess like when we're tearing down muscles, right? Like, but it's more like that traumatic injury where that scar tissue gets built up. Mm-hmm. So I think it's honestly just the way that your nervous system's powering you. It's causing this over activity kind of response. But it's interesting because I wouldn't even say it's overactivity, because this is where you have all that exhaustion. Mm-hmm. So it's like things are.
Another thing I noticed, I don't know if it like matters.
Yeah.
But when you're pressing here, I notice that I tense up my like right hamstring.
Interesting.
I don't know if that's linked at all.
I mean, these muscles, right? Like, especially if it's your QL, like they're coming in attached. Like it's all connected. So that also even makes me think like. Maybe tenderness like in the glute here.
Yes. But
okay.
Again, it's not like painful. It's just like.
It's just slightly. Okay, we're gonna do a little.
Say if you pressed here, it's like not as sensitive
as in there. Okay, yeah. We're gonna do a little bit of glute med. I'm just gonna kind of pinpoint, but then I'm gonna do a little bit piriformis as well, because I feel like a little bit in through here, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Do just a little bit of release here. Not as bad in through here. Or is it still pretty, it's more this outer, right here?
Yeah.
Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab leg like this. And if at any point it gets too much, you just let me know. Actually, let me bring this table up here. So my posture's not as bad. So I'm going to kind of elbow. Actually, we'll start with just thumb. And then I'm going to basically come out. And just let me know. I don't want knee to be affected at all either. So is that okay right there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that feels fine.
Tender at all or not as bad in through here in the glute?
It almost feels like a little bit like burning, sort of.
Burning, like right where I'm pressing, or does it kind of go down the leg?
Just where you're pressing.
Just where I'm pressing, okay.
Yeah, especially like
right in there.
Yeah.
So it's probably a nerve kind of just getting... Sciatica nerve runs in through here too, so I want to make sure.
I have a problem with that in high school.
The sciatic, was it on this side by chance, or was it both, or?
You know, I think it was on my right hand side, because I was doing like JROTC where we ran a lot.
Yep.
And then I would like go and train legs really hard at the gym, and I wasn't eating enough protein and resting enough and stuff like that, so I wasn't recovering, and it got to be like so bad that I was like limping.
Oh shoot!
But like once I stopped running, it went away.
It went away. Okay. Okay. Yeah, because sometimes if like piriformis doesn't seem too tight to me, but piriformis, if that's kind of too tight, pressing on that nerve, it can cause that burning. But even like right in here is pretty tight, and I'm curious if like this side too. Right side worse though, or both?
Honestly, both.
Yeah.
Like it feels about the same, yeah.
I'm gonna do just a little bit of motion in this one too. So. A little bit right in there. Is that pressure okay?
Mm-hmm.
Not too much? Okay.
Yeah, that's good. Oh, I really feel that one.
That one? Okay.
And it's always like when you have the leg out where it's...
Yeah, where it gets that maximum.
Sensation. Yeah. Well, maybe it's not really burning. I don't know how to describe it, but it's just like...
But it's, yeah, tender or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, not as bad up and through here. Do one right in there.
Mm-hmm.
Good, okay. And I want to get a little bit in the traps too. Not too bad in through here, but I would say, let's just feel.
Those feel a little tender.
Tender and right in through here?
Yeah.
Is it worse on this side by chance, or about the same?
Yeah, my left side.
Yeah. I can feel that a little bit. If it gets too much, you just let me know, okay?
Okay.
I'm just going to do a lot of pin and stretching. In through there.
Yeah, the top of the traps is where
I had a feeling it was, it definitely was. So let me just get an overall feel, and then we're going to do.
It feels crunchy.
Yeah, you feel that?
What is that where like it slides? And I know it's not crunchy.
No, it like when you get those adhesions, like those like little trigger points built up, like you'll roll over them and it'll like, yeah. There's a lot of like little trigger points and just adhesions. Yeah. So we just need to break them up. They're not too bad, but yeah, you feel like, especially like, like in through there. So what I'm going to do, we're going to start here first. Is that pressure okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
This side?
Yeah.
Back off a little bit. Good. Just breathe through it. Yeah. Probably in through here as well.
I got a ART done on my neck.
Okay.
This is kind of like what it feels like.
Like kind of like that. Yeah. Yeah, just kind of get things broken up and moving here. Yeah. Always find the spots.
Yeah, I feel that.
Oh, yeah.
Like making me like curl my lips.
Oh, no. Here, I'll back up a little bit.
No, it's fine. Keep pressing as hard as
Get
you
them
need
to,
yeah.
get them to release. I know I'm small, but my pressure can get. I had a patient, and he was like over 6, like tall, huge, like big guy, and it was funny. I
probably about had him crying.
Well, that and he also, so he was a little concerned at first because he basically was like I'm a big guy, like is she gonna be able to like adjust me basically, and he ended up apologizing me at the end of the appointment because he's like, even the old like I guess his previous chiropractor who he had seen like for I think it was like 10 years, could never get his neck, never get his neck. In first adjustment, I got his neck, and so at the end he apologized. He's like, I really underestimated you. I have to apologize. Like he was totally owned it. But that's the thing with chiropractor. It's like don't get me wrong, it can be easier when you're taller for certain adjustments and whatnot, but it's all technique and
you got this table that like moves up and down.
Oh, and that's exactly to kind of adjust. So all in through here, but definitely worse like right there.
Yeah, that's the like most tender. Like that actually like hurts.
Right there.
Like, keep pressing hard.
Yeah. This side's not as bad, right? Or is it still pretty?
I mean, they're both
pretty.
yeah. It just depends on how hard.
How I'm pressing.
Yeah.
Let me just get. Good. Okay. I'm gonna do a little bit more. Just kind of right on it with the thumb. Is that okay right there? Okay. Do this. And then what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you stand up, just walk around the table once or twice, and that's just going to help integrate those like first 3 adjustments we did. Just get you into like basically an upright position, what your body's kind of used to being in.
Like starting off with this new like neural
Exactly.
neural pathway we're setting.
Yep. And then I'll have you flip on over to your back, and we will look at that neck, because we're definitely going to do like a CT junction, like lower, kind of like C7, maybe C5, kind of like that mid. But C7 was showing up on this side, or we'll see what's kind of like more. It's either going to be like C5 here or like, because is that more tender in through there? Yeah, so we'll definitely do that. We'll see if there's any upper. There was no C1 that showed up, but we'll see if there's any kind of like upper in through here at all. And actually what I'll do right now, first, we have this little temperature guy. And so what we do is just like that thermal scan we did, where we measure temperature. So I'm going to come behind each ear, right where the brainstem is, and we take temperature.
Cool.
And we look at one absolute temperature because we want a good high temperature that shows like blood flow is flowing well. But also the difference in temperature can dictate where in the cervical spine needs more attention. So if like you're a half degree off, it's more of like a C2 issue.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool just to kind of like
That's
see.
super
So
neat.
I'll have you go face down for a second. I'm just going to come real quick. Okay, so absolute temperature is great. So 93.7, 94.6. It's about a degree off, which is interesting because that makes me think more C1, but you didn't have C1 show up, but it also could be that, again, that C2 junction, which is probably what we'll do. Okay, stand up for me. I'm gonna have you walk around just once or twice. It doesn't have to be around the table, it can kind of be back and forth. And then grab a drink of water.
Oh man, it feels like weird, like walking now. So it's kind of embarrassing, but I'll tell y'all, like my entire life that I've been aware of it, I feel like my left leg has been like longer. So I've always kind of walked with like a little bit of a pimp walk, like kind of fall onto that right leg. So I'm like this. So like now when I'm walking, it feels like normal. Like I'm kind of tripping over my feet.
You don't know how to walk.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then even her x-ray kind of confirmed it in the sense of her left ilium, so her left kind of like hip bone was sitting up higher, showing like that higher left leg per se. And it's not that her leg is longer, it's just the way, again, her nervous system's programming her. It just distorts and throws off the structure. So
This is so awesome.
all right, let me get this mic off the back of your neck.
Okay. Yeah,
Well, here, I'll let you move it to the front for the cervical adjustment. And then I'll have you come on your back facing up.
Okay.
Do this. Okay. So this, yeah, you just relax. And then... A little tender here or not too bad?
Yeah, a little
A little
tender.
bit. I have a feeling it's probably going to be worse. Down. Right there?
Mm-hmm.
Or is this side worse? I actually might hit bilateral on you. We'll see.
I'd say both sides feel pretty even at the bottom.
At the bottom?
Like,
okay.
even tenderness. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that was good. I felt sparks in my head.
I love it. It's one of those adjustments where it's like I get adjusted all the time, and it's like even though you're anticipating it, it still catches you off guard. Okay. I'm just gonna see if we have any more to clear out. Kind of down on this side. That's the first time I've heard that. Good. No, not that side. But anything still up top here or not too bad? They're not too bad. You actually feel pretty.
Yeah.
So let me
It's
just
mainly
check.
like right there, just on that right.
It was that
like,
right
neck.
side.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do a little bit. Yeah, because we just did a big shock to the system. So one thing I will tell you, just like you know when you do like a workout and you're sore the next day, especially if you haven't worked out in a while,
Oh yeah.
you might notice a tiny bit of soreness tomorrow. It shouldn't be anything major, just more of like that like post soreness, just because again, we're waking up areas that have not moved as frequently. We're literally changing the pattern. So, and your body's holding you slightly different. But one thing you might notice is a little bit more relaxed tonight because you were so sympathetic on that side.
I already
literally-
feel so much more relaxed. Like,
Good. Yeah. Because basically what we're
Great.
doing, like your gas pedal was stuck on, like so amped up. Take that foot off the gas pedal, pump the brakes a little bit, so you should be a little bit more ease. But, and I know you're already on top of this, but extra water today just to flush out. But I already know you drink a lot of water, so that's good. Okay, and then let me just check temperature. I just want to see if there's anything else left to clear out. Okay. Yeah. 93.9, 94.0. Now we're 94.2, 94.1. So now we're nice and balanced. So that's what we want. I want to see nice balanced temps by the end. So you are all, actually, you know what? Before we do, let me do a little bit more decompression. This is always the best part.
Yes.
At least
Maybe
I
I'll
think
be a little
it
bit
is.
taller.
Exactly. Get a little bit taller. And then even like, do you have any tenderness in here or not too bad?
Not
Some
too bad.
people like, so there's these little muscles called the suboccipital muscles. Sometimes, especially like people who are like very like, if you're very high anxiety or just very like, if you're really prone to headaches,
Yeah.
they can get so just, I don't want to use the word inflamed, but just kind of overactive, tight, that sort of thing. But I don't really feel any tension in through here, so that's good. All right. Let me help you up. And there we go.
Heck yeah. Well, thank you so much.
No problem.
I already feel so much better, and hopefully y'all learned some cool stuff. And I definitely learned a lot today. I didn't even know you could do all these different scans and that it even connected in that type of way.
Yeah.
So that's
like our
awesome.
huge thing here is we're literally just trying to educate on chiropractic in the sense of like, no, it's not just about aligning the spine. It's not just about the clicks and pops. It goes so much deeper than that. And we look so much deeper than that to like really get this big picture to see, okay, what kind of symptoms are you having? Like, where is this leading and linking into the body? Where are the main root causes, what are more chronic, what are more kind of newer things showing up so we can prevent from getting worse, and that sort of thing. So it's just getting more awareness of the importance. And it's not just realigning the spine. Like, we're improving digestion, improving sleep, improving like sinus stuff, like all the symptoms you can think of. They're literally just indicators that your body's just telling you something's not right and something needs a little bit of attention. And it's, again, the body's all connected, and we work with the body as a whole to kind of heal it inside out. So
Absolutely. Well, again, this is Abby Bolton. I'll put her Instagram info and stuff like that. It was super cool. She's an Olympian. It's called Fit Model, right?
Fitness.
Fitness.
So fitness division.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. No,
Sorry
you're
about
good.
that.
You're good.
Fitness. So she does like a bunch of like just acrobatic like flips and plyo push-ups.
Plyo push-ups,
and, like,
strength
push-ups
holds.
5 feet in there. Well, maybe not that high, but
Like Ali said. Yeah.
pretty high. So she's an athlete. She understands what it takes, especially in a prep. Her preps are just as intense as, say, for mine with bodybuilding. And it's just awesome to have someone that understands, like, okay, your body's already under stress and all that. And just keep things running. So what's the name of this clinic?
So it's Align Life Chiropractic, and we're located in Beech Grove, Indiana.
So if you're in the Indianapolis area and you need to get an adjustment, just ask for Abby and she will get you fixed, set up right. So,
awesome. Well, thanks for coming in, Dylan.
Yeah,
this is
thanks
awesome.
for having me and helping me out. So
Okay.
I'll be ready for nationals now.
Yay. Kick some
Let's
butt.